to provide a starting point for the Philippine Army's goal of re-establishing its lost armored tank capabilities. The Mechanized Infantry Division, MID, has proposed the acquisition of light and medium tanks to enable them to relearn the operation and use of tanks in different combat situations. The Philippine Army's light tank acquisition project was born after a long study and debate within the organization on whether to go for heavy main battle tanks whose combat weight is between 55 to 70 tons, or light and/or medium tanks whose combat weight would be less than 42 tons. While plans to acquire main battle tanks remain, the MID would like to learn first from operating modern light-medium tanks to determine if they're suitable enough to meet the current and future requirements. Max Defense released a blog entry on the updates on the light tank acquisition project, wherein we discussed the shortlisted models for the tracked and wheeled tank model, and which one Max Defense believes will bag the project based on deduction. For tracked tank, the offers are the ASCOD-2M MBT medium main battle tank from Elbit Systems General Dynamics European Land Systems GDELS. The K21-105 medium tank from Hanwha Defense Systems. And the Captain Harimau medium tank from FNS SPT Pindad. For the wheeled tanks are: first, the Arma 8x8 with 105mm gun from Otokar Automotive. Second, Centauro 28x8 with 105mm gun from Iveco Defense. And third, the Panda 28x8 with 105mm gun from Elbit Systems Excalibur Army. All other perceived potential proponents and products appears to have not been able to participate, or did not submit a serious offer to the Philippine Army despite receiving the Request for Information (RFI) from the PA Technical Working Group. Perceived winner by deduction. To be able to determine who we believe would win the tender based on the shortlist above, Max Defense would base what it believes as the possible winning bidder by identifying the possible reasons for being removed from the selection, and taking out any shortlisted proponent and product and reduce the selection. 1. First off, Max Defense will reduce the shortlist based on which one may not meet Philippine laws based on the revised Government Procurement Act under RA 9184, and the revised AFP Modernization Act under RA 10349. According to these RAS, a product should already be in service with the origin's armed forces, or as an alternative, at least in service with two foreign armed forces. For tracked vehicles. 1. The Hanwha K-21 armored fighting vehicle is in active service with the Republic of Korea Army, ROKA. 2. The GDELS ASCOD armored fighting vehicle is in service with the Spanish Army as the ASCOD Pizarro, the Austrian Army as the ASCOD Yulin. The ASCOD is also being introduced to the British Army as the Ajax. 3. The PT Pindad FNSS Captain Harimau medium tank is not yet in service, but is being introduced to the Indonesian Army TNIAD, with deliveries expected to happen in a few years. While the K-21 and ASCOD were used as armored fighting vehicles and were armed with medium caliber guns instead of a tank gun, it appears that the RA 9184 and RA 10349 allows its selection. Meanwhile, while the Kaplan Harimau was designed as a medium tank, it is currently not in service with any military even by its origin, Turkey and Indonesia. This means the Kaplan Harimau could be disqualified. For the wheeled vehicles, the Excalibur Army Panda II is currently in service with the Czech Army, Portuguese Army, Austrian Army, and the Indonesian Army. The Iveco Centauro is being used by the Italian Army, Spanish Army, plus the Royal Jordanian Army and the Royal Omani Army. And the Otokar armor is only in use by the Royal Bahraini Army. Like in the tracked vehicles, the Panda II and Centauro both meet the requirements of RA 9184 and RA 10349 for being in service with the country of origin or at least 2 foreign users. But Otokar's armor is only in use by 1 foreign user, and not in use by the country of origin, Turkey. This means the Otokar armor 8x8 could be disqualified. The PT Pindad FNSS Kaplan Harimau medium tank has the most potential among the tracked vehicles shortlisted, as the Indonesian Army intends to acquire them by the hundreds. But its development was too late to meet the Philippine requirements of being a proven product. 2. Of all the tracked and wheeled vehicle offerings, there were only 2 suppliers of turrets, either CMI Defense Cockerel from Belgium or OTO Melara from Italy. The Hanfar K21-105 and PT Pindad FNSS Kaplan, and the Otokar Armor 8x8 all use turrets made by CMI Defense Cockerel, while the Elbit GDELSASCOD2 MMBT, Elbit Excalibur Army Panda 2 8x8, and the Iveco Centauro 2 8x8 all use an OTO Melara made turret. As Max Defense has been saying for more than a year now, Belgium's Walloon regional government has imposed an very tight export control to the Philippines due to the fear that the Philippine government may use Belgian products in human rights abuses or extrajudicial killings. This despite the AFP's good record of not participating in HRE-JK issues. By deduction, it means only the ASCOD2 MMBT, Panda 2 8x8 and Centauro 2 8x8 may be feasible for selection due to the non-usage of Belgian-made sourced turrets and guns. Meanwhile, the Hanfar K21-105 medium tank could be disqualified, as the Philippine Army is expected not to select a model that uses a Belgian-made turret and gun. The use of a turret and gun from Belgium's CMI Defense may have costed Hanfar to be selected in the light tank acquisition project of the Philippine Army. 3. By this time, only the Elbit Systems GDELSASCOD2 MMBT remains as the only tracked vehicle in the shortlist. But for the wheeled vehicles, there are still 2, the Elbit Excalibur Army Panda 2, and the Iveco Centauro 2. With the ASCOD2 MMBT probably selected, the selection of the wheeled vehicle could be a combination of performance and practicality. Since the Panda II is also being offered by Elbit Systems, it is much simpler to award the entire light tank acquisition project to a single proponent rather than distributing it to 2 proponents despite having a very small order. In this case, Iveco's Centauro II may be placed in second place for the wheeled vehicle requirement, with both the Elbit GDELSASCOD2 MMBT and the Elbit Excalibur Army Panda 2 8x8 possibly selected for the project. 4. Max Defense received information that since this project is being offered as one lot, proponents should be able to supply both wheeled and tracked tank variants. Even if we include those deducted for not meeting the requirements discussed in items 1 to 3, it means that only Elbit Systems GDELS Excalibur Army team can compete for the project. Which means from the start, there should be no more doubt that the ASCOD2 MMBT and Panda 2 105 should be the only qualified products, unless the PATWG and DND back make some changes. Based on the above deduction, Max Defense believes that the Philippine Army may select the Elbit Systems General Dynamics European Land Systems ASCOD2 MMBT for the tracked requirements, and the Elbit Systems Excalibur Army Panda 2 8x8 for the wheeled requirement. Aside from the deduction we made, we also believe that recent actions by the Department of National Defense (DND) itself may lead to such selections. First was the recent visit of DND officials in Excalibur Army's facility in the Czech Republic, wherein the DND was able to view the Panda 2 8x8. This was in between visits made by Excalibur Army officials to the DND office in Camp Aguinaldo, Quezon City to further discuss their offers. While our opinion above is what we think would happen, it could be wrong as we are not the one making the decisions here. It is still up to the Philippine Army's Technical Working Group TWG, and Defense Acquisition System Assessment Team, the ASAT, on the light tank acquisition project who will make the selection, which in turn would be raised to the Commanding General, Philippine Army, CGPA, for support and recommendation to the DND. Anything can still happen unless the PA and DND already made a final decision.